Okay, here we go. Math 7, 4.2 equations practice. We've been working on this last week, and I know that a lot of you already have the first page down, but I'm going to go through this quite quickly for time purposes and just to show you how fast you can go through these problems once you understand what you're doing. If you've already done all the problems, you might want to watch them to check. And this is just how I solve them, and, along with some of the ways that we learned in class. Remember, there's always more than one way to solve any of these math problems, and I'm not always right, so don't always think I'm right. Okay, so here we go. Now, like I said, this page, most everybody did in class, but I'm going to go through it rather quickly. One step at a time. These are two-step equations. You know they're two steps because there's two operations involved in this. So I like to draw my line down the equal sign, find my variable. That tells me what side I should start with. As soon as I find my variable, I see this 8 right here. I'm going to do the opposite. Subtract 8 on both sides of the equation. That cancels out right here on this side, and that leaves me with x over 14 equals 1 on this side. And now this is, the x is still right here. It's division, so the opposite of division is multiplication. I'll put that over a 1 to show that it cancels out, times 14 on this side, times 14 on this side, so x equals 14. All right, number 2. There's my equal sign, there's my n. I'm going to subtract 8 on both sides. That cancels out the 8. This becomes a 2. And now I have n divided by 4. The opposite of divide by 4 is times by 4. Or 4 over 1, that cancels that out. That leaves me with n, and times 4 on this side, that equals 8. Okay, here's my equal sign, here's my variable. I see this 6, we like to undo addition and subtraction first. So minus 6 plus 6. Look how easy, it just goes away. Plus 6 on this side, and 18 plus 6 is 24. And I have 4p over here. That's my 4 times p, so divide by 4, p equals 6. All right, here we go. There's my equal sign, there's my variable, minus 3, gone. And that is 8 minus 3 is 5. X divided by 2. The opposite of divide by 2 is times by 2 on both sides. So x equals 10. Ooh, I'm really zipping through this very quickly. All right, here's my equal sign. There's my variable, plus 7. It goes away there. I'm left with p over 2 on this one, p divided by 2 on this one, and 11 or the difference between negative 11 and 7 is going to be a negative 4. So now I have p divided by 2, so times 2, p equals negative 8. Equal sign, variable. So I'm going to start over here. Plus 10, that goes away. Look how easy that goes away. Negative 3k, and negative 1 plus 10 is going to be 9. Divide by negative 3, k equals negative 3, because 9 divided by negative 3 is 3. Equal sign, minus 9, that cancels out. 34 minus 9 is 25. divide by negative 5, divide by negative 5, that cancels out, or that actually it turns into 1. 25 divided by negative 5 is going to be negative 5. Hey, where'd it go? There it is, okay. Minus 8, oh, there's my n, I know what to start on the side. Minus 8, that cancels out. Negative 2n, negative 20 minus negative 8 is negative 28. Divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2. This leaves me with n equals 14. Ooh, forgot number 8 up here. Here we go. Equal sign, variable. Start with the 4, so subtract 4, that goes away. This becomes a negative 1 equals x divided by 20. Divided by 20, the opposite is multiply by 20. So times 20, x equals negative 20. Number 10. Minus 8, 2x equals 20, because 20 minus 8 is 20. Divide by 2, x equals 10. All right, so look how fast we went through those problems. And do you see the lines down the equal sign to show you one side of the equation and the other side of the equation? All right, that was pretty quick. Moving to the next page. Now these are a little bit different. I'm sorry, this first one looks a little sloppy, but these have fractions on both sides of the equation, and we learned that we don't like fractions. Well, okay, it's not that we don't like them, but they're just easier to work with if we get rid of the fractions. So what we can do is we can multiply all this whole equation by the largest denominator here, which is 8. So if I multiply everything by 8 over 1, and I multiply this by 8, each piece, that cancels out. That will leave me with 4. 8 times 4 is 32, and that turns into 8 over 2, which if I divide that down, turns into a 4. So I'm going to write that over again. And here's where my x is, right there. Now I have my two-step equation, so I just find my variable. Okay, so minus 32, that cancels out. This turns into negative 28 equals 4x. Divide by 4, x equals negative 7. So once we get it to this point right here, I'm sorry, these 2 points right here, we're back to our two-steps equation. It looks sloppy right now, but you'll see the more we get through these kind of problems. Okay, so let's look at this next one. I see a 3 and a 9, so I'm going to multiply each piece by 9, because that's my largest denominator there. Okay, so this would be 9 times 2, which is going to be 18x. This is going to be 9 over 1 times 1 over 3. That will give me, if I multiply this, this will be 9 over 3. If I divide that down, that turns into a 3. So 18x plus 3 equals a negative. And times 9 over 1 over here, that turns into 6. Okay, so now I have my two-step equation. Here's my variable, so subtract 3, 18x equals negative 9. This is multiplication, so divide by 18, x equals negative 9/18, which can be reduced 2x equals negative 1/2. Now, I personally had to do this problem a couple times, and then I had to check it. I put that negative 1/2 in there and substituted in with the x's, and I could show you how to do that, but that would take too long right now. I'm not going to do that at this moment, but I will show you tomorrow. Okay, here we go. I'll show you some checking things tomorrow. Fraction, 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 fraction. Okay, so I know that I can multiply all this by 10. 10 over 1. 10 over 1, and I'm going to multiply this by 10 over 1. That cancels out. It's a 2. This would be, if I multiply this across, that would be 40 over 5. And if I multiply this across, that'd be 10 over 5r. And now look, I could divide this. 40 divided by 5 is 8. 10 divided by 5 is 2. And there we go. And now there's my equal sign, there's my r. Subtract 8, subtract 8. That goes away. Negative 2r equals negative 6. Divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2. R equals 3. Okay. So once we, and that's the whole point with these problems right here, is we're trying to get rid of these fractions. She's just trying to show you how to do that. Okay, so this one, we can multiply all of these by 6. 6 over 1, 6 over 1, and I'll put the 6 over 1 here. That cancels out. That leaves me with a negative 1. This turns into 18 over 2n and minus, and this turns into 30 over 3. Divide this down, that turns into 9n, and this turns into 10, and this is already a whole number, negative 1. Now I'm down to my basic two-step equation. Here's my variable, so I'm going to add 10 plus 10. This will be 9 equals 9n divided by 9 divided by 9. N equals, and 9 divided by 9 is 1. All right, so that was number 14. I am doing these fast, and hopefully I'm getting them all right, but we'll see. Oh, look at this one. As soon as you spot that 5, 5, 5 right there, we can multiply all of these by 5. 5 over 1, 5 over 1, and that cancels out all those 5s on the bottom. So this is going to be 3 equals 2p minus 3. There's my equal sign, there's my variable, plus 3, that cancels out, 2p equals 6. This is multiplication, so divide by 2, p equals 6 divided by 2, 3. Okay, this is where, to make it a little bit easier, you should notice, or you could if you like to use this method, that these are in the tenths column, so we can multiply everything by 10. So 10 times 4 is 40p. 10 times 1.8 is going to be 18, because it just moves the decimal over one time. And 10 times 2.2 is going to be 22. And so now I have whole numbers. Here's my equal sign, here's my p, add 18, add 18. That goes away. 40p equals 40. Divide by 40, divide by 40. P equals 1. All right, let's go to this one. I see those decimals again, so I know they're in the tenths place, so I can multiply everything here by 10. 10 times 77.8 is going to be 78. 10 times 5 is going to be 50. And 10 times 0.4 is going to be 4. N. Variable minus 50 minus 50. So even though we get some bigger numbers, we're still doing the same process. This will be 28 equals 4n. Divide by 4. Divide by 4 on both sides. 7 equals n. Here's another decimal problem. Now, the problem with this one is this is in these decimals, 2 of these decimals are in the hundredths place. This one's only in the tenths. So if they're in the hundreds, let's just times it by 100. Times 100. So 100 times this is going to be 75. Move the decimal over 2 places. That turns into a 50. 100 times 0.5 is 50. And 100 times 0.5 is going to be 5x. Okay, so now I have those whole numbers. Subtract 50, subtract 50, that cancels out. This will be 25 equals 5x. Divide by 5, divide by 5, x equals 5. Okay. Now this one I see just them in the tenths place, so I'm going to multiply the whole thing by 10. So this will be, move the decimal over 1 times 10. 34 equals 10 times 0.2 is 2x, and 10 times 3 plus 30. Minus 30, minus 30, that goes away. This turns into a 4. 2x, divide by 2, divide by 2, x equals 2. And this one right here, I noticed tenths, hundredths, tenths, hundredths, tenths, hundredths, so I'm going to multiply all of them by 100. And that just means you move the decimal over 2 places. Okay, so 100 times 5, that's going to be 5 equals 7 plus 3r. Wow, look how easy that is. Here's my r. Okay, so subtract 7, subtract 7. That turns into negative 2 equals 3r. Divide by 3, divide by 3. That turns into r equals, and you can have an answer like this, equals just 2/3. Or if I divided that out, I would get some kind of decimal, I think. 2 divided by 3, yep, 6 repeat. So you leave that as a fraction. Although, that one is kind of, oh, wait, I know what I did wrong. I did something wrong. Why didn't you guys catch me on that? Oh, you guys are killing. That's why I didn't think that was right, because if these answers are all in decimals, then I should be able to put this into a decimal, but this turns out to be 0.6666 repeat, and that doesn't seem right because I can't write that as a perfect decimal. So I did something wrong. And what I did wrong, I don't know if you noticed it, is I didn't bring down that negative sign right there. Changes the whole problem. That means you got to do it all over again. Sorry about that, you guys. All right, so let me erase. Where's my eraser here? Let's go. Okay. Here we go. There's my. Oh no, I don't want to erase the problem there. What's happening? All right. So let me go back to this. All right. I messed it up, and I don't have time to fix this whole thing. So I'm just going to rewrite the problem over here, okay? Okay, here we go. So it's 0.05 equals negative 0.07 plus 0.03r. Sorry about that, you guys. I'm so sorry. All right, equal sign. Okay. I turn these all into, I times these all by 100. Okay. I already did that up here. So this is where I messed up right there. Plus 7 gives me 12. Now, watch this. 3r. Is that canceled out? Divide by 3, r equals 4. That's your answer right there. Not this. I'm sorry about that, you guys. Okay. All right, so now we have those problems down on that page. Here we go. Okay, this one says distribute and then solve. So we're going to distribute, then we're going to combine, and then we're going to solve the two-step equation. Remember, this is a negative 10. Remember, one little negative sign wrong, it messes your whole problem up, so you got to make sure you're really careful. Negative 10x minus 10 equals 20, and don't forget this 4x right there. First step. I'm going to combine these x's together. That's going to give me a negative 6x minus 10 equals 20. Equal sign, variable. Plus 10, both sides. This turns into negative 6x equals 30. Divide by negative 6, divide by negative 6, x equals negative 5. All right, that's it. I'm going fast. I'm sorry about that, but I'm trying to save some time here. Okay, that's a negative 1 right there. So that turns into negative 4v negative 8 plus 10v equals 4. Here's my equal sign. Okay, I can combine this 4v and that 10v. That's going to give me 6v minus 8 equals 4. Here's my v. So plus 8, that goes away. 6v equals 12. And divide by 6, v equals 1v equals 2. All right, here we go. Distribute. 3x minus 3 minus 5x equals 3. X and the x, negative 2x minus 3 equals 3. Variable. Okay. Plus 3, that cancels out. Plus 3 is 6. Negative 2x. Divide by negative 2, that turns into 1x equals negative 3. All right, now we're going to solve these ones. I mean, I don't know what the difference in the directions are. Distribute, then solve. We're still distributing and solving these too. So, let's do negative. Now, I see the decimals there, but I'm not ready to convert them into whole numbers yet. I'm going to distribute first. That's just how I like to do it, because sometimes I get confused. So, negative 2 times 0.2 times 3 is going to be 6, but there's one spot there, so it's going to be 0.6 positive. So that's going to be 0.6n, and 6 times 0.2 is going to be 12 at one spot, so it's going to be minus 1.2 equals 1.2. Equal sign. Okay. Ooh. So what I see is that now all of these right here have tenths place decimals. So that means I can multiply all of them by 10, which that makes it easy. I just move the decimal over 1. So this is going to be 6n minus 12 equals 12. See, I could just move that decimal over, that decimal over, that decimal over, because I multiplied them all by 10. Okay, now I'm down to a simple two-step equation. Plus 12 plus 12, that cancels out. 6n equals 24. Divide by 6, that's 1. N equals, and 24 divided by 6 is 4. All right. Ooh, up here. Okay, I gotta distribute these two. That's 16v plus 6 equals 20 minus 9v. Now there's an equal sign right there. I'm going to combine these v's, which is going to give me 7v plus 6 equals 20, because negative 9 plus 16 is positive 7. Hi, Corinne. Do you guys do two-step equations in 9th grade math?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you have to know how to do this, right?
Yep.
All right. Here's my v. So minus 6 minus 6. 7v equals 14. Divide by 7, 1v equals 2. 14 divided by 7 is 2. All right, here we go. Ooh, another decimal problem. I have to be a little bit careful. 0.3 times 4 is going to be 12, but remember that one decimal spot. So it's going to be 1.2 minus 0.3 times 2 is 6. Move it over once. 0.6x minus x equals negative 0.4. Okay, I wrote that kind of sloppy. I'm going to rewrite that again. So this is going to be 1.2 minus 0.6x minus x equals negative 0.4. Okay, so here's my equal sign. I have these x's I need to combine. This is a 1x, so that's going to be negative 1.6x equals a negative 0.4 and a 1.2 here. So now once we get those decimals, we notice they're all in the tenths, so we can multiply all of it by 10, which means I can move the decimals over. Okay, I multiply everything by 10. So this is going to be 12 minus 16x equals negative 4. Almost done. So now here's my variable. So I'm going to go minus 12 minus 12. That's going to give me a negative 16 and a negative 16x here. Divide by negative 16. Divide by negative 16. It's going to be 1x equals 1. Kind of hard to see there, but a lot of steps on that. All right, here we go. We need some more space here. Fractions, no problem. No problem at all. Okay, I'm just going to turn these into over ones. So 2 times 3, remember I have to do 2/3 times negative 3 and 2/3 times 5. So 2 times 3 is going to be negative 6 over 3 when I multiply these across. Plus, and 2 times, that's going to be 10 over 3, which equals negative 2 over 3. And do you notice they all have the same denominator? So that means I can multiply all these by 3 over 1, or by 3. So that cancels out that 3. Negative 6 cancels out that 3. Plus 10. Oh wait, don't forget my k's right here. And that turns into negative 2. So subtract 10, that cancels out. Negative 6k equals negative 12. Divide by negative 6, divide by negative 6. 1k equals 2. Positive 2, because 2 positives are negative. I'm sorry, two negatives are a positive. Woof, what am I saying? It's getting late. All right. Now this one, do not go fraction happy on this, because all you have to think about is this. 1/2 of 6 and 1/2 of 6. 1/2 of 6 is 3. 1/2 of 6 is 3. There, done with all that. That was so easy. 1/2 of 6 is 3. 1/2 of 6 is 3. Look at that. Now, subtract 3, subtract 3. This turns into negative 12 equals 3k. Divide by 3, divide by 3. K equals negative 4. All right, look at that. Page is done. We have one more to go. Whoa, we could do this. To simplify each equation, then solve. Wow, that looks like so much fun. Does that look fun? Is that fun?
That looks so fun.
That's fun.
I wish I would do that.
I mean, do you really want to do that?
Yeah, I wish I could do that in class.
You know, it's fun stuff.
Yeah.
It's like solving fun puzzles. All right, here we go. Distribute. Negative 3n plus 9. This is negative 8. Negative 8 plus 8n equals negative 4. Okay, distributed. Now let's simplify. Let's combine. Here's my equal sign right over here. Combine these n's. 8, 7, 6, 5n. I can combine this 9 and this 8 right here. Plus 1 equals 4. Wow, that looks really easy now. Watch this. 5n plus 1 equals 4. Minus 1, minus 1. 5n equals 3. Oh, great. Did I do this one right? Oh, I didn't, because look at, this is a negative 4. So this is going to be, I knew I did something. I knew I did not do,
-5.
yeah, this right here is going to be a negative 5. See? Caught myself.
Everyone makes mistakes.
Divide by 5. Thanks, Corinne. Okay, so n equals negative 1. Done. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to distribute first. So this is negative 36 equals 24n plus 28. This is a negative 4 times 6. Negative 24 minus 4n. Okay, so there's my equal sign right there. Combine these n's. 20n right here, if I combine those together, it's going to be plus 4 equals a negative 36. Here we go. Now here's my n. So minus 4 minus 4. Be careful with those negative signs. Negative 40. equal sign. Divide by 20. Divide by 20. 1n equals negative 2. Psh, done. Zipping through. Here we go. Look at these aren't so bad. Kind of fun. All right, so this is going to be, I'm going to distribute that. Oh, these are easy ones to distribute too. 35 plus 15x minus 18x minus 12, and don't forget this 20. Combine 15x minus 18x negative 3x. 35 minus 12, and you'll probably be faster at this than me in your head. 23. Positive. 35 minus 12. I don't know if that's right. I might be wrong. I have to check with the calculator because that's just me. Yep, that's right. Okay. Which, don't forget, this equals 20. All right, here we go. Minus 23 minus 23 will give me a negative 3 equals negative 3x. Divide by negative 3. Divide by negative 3. 1x equals 1. Phew. We are almost done. Home stretch. Here we go. Distribute. 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 Negative 8n minus 16 plus 3n minus 12 equals 22. Here's my equal sign. I only combine what can go together on one side of the equal sign. So negative 8 and 3 is going to be negative 5n, and 16 and 12 is going to be negative 28 equals 22. Plus 28 plus 28, negative 5n equals 10. 50. Divide by negative 5, divide by negative 5, 1n equals negative 10. Okay. Here we go. Remember, I'll show you how to check these more tomorrow. Okay. Distribute. Oh, this is all, look at all positive values except for that last one. So 4a plus 8 plus 2a plus 8 equals negative 2. Here's my equal sign. A and A, 6a. 8 and 8 plus 16 equals negative 2. Minus 16, minus 16, 6a equals negative 18. Divide by 6, divide by 6, 1a equals negative 3. Because 18 divided by 6 is 3. And, oh, one more to go. No problem. Negatives, no problem. Negative 2, negative 2, negative 7 times a. Okay, so this is going to be 20 equals negative 2 plus 6a minus 7a plus 42. Because 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times negative 6 is positive 6. Negative 7 is negative 7. Is 42. Okay. I know I'm going fast. Okay, here we go. I'm going to combine these a's right there, which will give me negative 1a. And then I'm going to combine a negative 2 and positive 42 plus 40 equals 20. Minus 40, minus 40, that cancels out, equals negative 1a minus 20. Divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1, 1a equals positive 20. All right, that should be right. I mean, I went fast. If I made some mistakes, you might have caught that along the way, and good for you for catching my mistakes. I don't ever claim to be right. I try my best, just whatever I do, but not always right. I try to catch myself. Okay, good luck. Hope that helped. Thanks. Bye.